Just a couple of days ago, OpenAI completed its 12-day holiday gift, shipping a new feature for its collection of AI products every single weekday for 11 days, topped off by one blockbuster announcement. Some of these were exciting new features they knocked out the park, others less so. But as we reach the end of our second full year in this new age of AI everything, what this initiative does show us is that OpenAI is not slowing down, and if anything is becoming more aggressive in its pace and breadth. In this video, I want to look at the key announcements of these 12 days, not just from OpenAI, but from across an industry that just cannot stop pushing new features and products, and whether, as we move into 2025, the big tech AI order, which I most focus on from a Microsoft and Copilot perspective, could be open for a refresh. But first, a quick introduction. My name is Nick DeCourcy. I'm a consultant who specialises in helping smaller businesses get the best from AI. Check out the links below if you're interested in learning more about me or my services. And as always, if this video is useful to you, please give it a like to help it get in front of more people, and if you want more, please do subscribe. OpenAI kicked off its 12 days with a very sardine-like presentation of Sam Altman announcing the full release of its O1 model and a new eye-catching, and for some eye-watering, $200 per month pro-level subscription for relatively uncapped access to most features they have to offer. And just over 2 weeks later, he returned to announce their latest breakthrough model, O3, offering a glimpse of a large language model that might be nearing the fabled General Artificial Intelligence, or AGI. In between, we got the exciting in releases like Sora, their new video generation model, or the rollout of live video input we had seen announced months ago. We got major productivity enhancements to the foundation that is ChatGPT, with features like Projects and more flexibility for Canvas. And we got things that frankly were somewhat comical fillers, like the new toll-free ChatGPT phone service, which appeared on our screens like a mashup of QVC and an 80s televangelist. For the most part, what this showed off for OpenAI is that they are competent in the development of products, they are able to deliver features that unquestionably add value, and despite being one of the biggest players now in this industry, they were able to get these new things into people's hands pretty quickly. Almost immediately, Google struck back with its own announcements. While not quite 12, Google did give us Gemini 2 for Gemini Advanced users. They showed off their VO model, a competitor to Sora, which while not as available just yet, does seem to give better results. And to Gemini 1.5, they added deep research, which in my testing so far is probably one of the biggest AI release workflow disruptors I've seen in a long while. Perhaps this should be the focus of a future video. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that. While Microsoft wasn't completely absent from this back and forth battle for attention, its announcements in this period did not have the same punch. O1 in Azure is really riding on OpenAI's coattails, and while Agents for Everyone is undoubtedly a big deal, it was not pushed out in a way that gave it the same impact or clarity as OpenAI or Google. As Google CEO Sundar Pichai summed it up, they're using someone else's models, which I don't think should be a blanket indictment of their undoubted innovation, but does mean many of these raw AI-focused announcements leave Microsoft waiting second in line. In terms of the features themselves, there were a handful that struck me as more important than the rest. Let's take a look at the expansion of Canvas, Projects, app integration on the Mac, and finally, O3. But before we start, as more businesses embrace AI or are impacted by AI through their employees using their own tools, finding ways to bring AI users up to speed on its risks and how to mitigate them is essential. My new on-demand course, Responsible AI for Business Users, gives you an overview of AI safety and responsible use across 7 modules and easily digestible bite-sized videos of 10 minutes or less. You will learn why generative AI makes mistakes, how to identify those errors, and how to ensure your proprietary data or private information stays safe while using AI. You don't want to be the next cautionary tale for what can go wrong with AI and risk the reputational damage, business challenges, or even financial impact that can result. Ensure you and your team are equipped with the knowledge that can help you stay safe and use AI responsibly. Check out the link down below to find out more about responsible AI for business users. While OpenAI's technology is undoubtedly at the bleeding edge of the space it works in, there was one compelling reason why when Microsoft announced Copilot in March 2023, I saw it as the kickoff of true AI-based change to how we work, rather than ChatGPT's release several months earlier. OpenAI had a very smart chatbot, but Microsoft had the productivity solution that is the gold standard for serious businesses, and through housing that service in the cloud, has amassed custodianship of much of the world's business data. In the race to AIify work, I saw only two serious options, those with the platforms and the data, either Microsoft or Google, and Google had seemed to be off to a poor start. However, fast forward nearly 2 years, and the situation is somewhat different. Microsoft 365 Copilot is a very compelling product. It's made great strides in the time since its release, and seems to add new capabilities every single day. The extensibility framework that Copilot is built on is, in my opinion, the best that's available, and provides a set of solutions relevant to nearly every business interested in leveraging AI. But while Microsoft has been busy tacking Copilot's AI into all of its existing products, OpenAI seems to have had the advantage of a blank sheet of paper to truly ideate from scratch on what an experience of co-working with AI on the things we do every day should look, and more importantly, feel like. ChatGPT with Canvas provides arguably a more natural feeling way to interact with AI on a page of text than is the case either with a tool like Copilot in Word or Microsoft's new Copilot Pages. It isn't a Word or an Excel or even a VS Code replacement, but for what it does it is extremely capable and offers a more seamless feeling experience of genuinely working alongside AI to get something done. Canvas is now better integrated across ChatGPT, adding value to text creation and code. It allows for seamlessly moving between the chat-based interface and the created text itself, which is a key feature Microsoft Word still lacks and is also missing from Copilot Pages. And through the fact that Canvas is now easier to access in the flow of work with ChatGPT, the benefit of this new UI approach will likely become more and more important to the experience of working with ChatGPT. Products like Word or OneNote or even Google Docs have nothing to fear from Canvas right now, or even in the predictable future. It seems likely that many will still finish their work in another app, even if they start with ChatGPT, for features like better layouts, more understandable and searchable storage of the asset created, or even just email or print. However, think about the flow of data. With Canvas, ChatGPT can move from somewhere you do a small part of a task to the place you do most of that task. If you're working on a document, a policy, a proposal maybe, you can do 90% of the job in Canvas alongside ChatGPT, and OpenAI suddenly has data that shows it what the final product looked like and what steps you took to get it there. Even if you don't share your data for model training, that transactional history lives on and can support experiences like memory to make your ChatGPT use more tailored in the future. Think about the value of that data versus the snippets of context the ChatGPT of late 2022 had visibility of when you simply jumped across to ChatGPT briefly to get some help before returning to your app of choice for whatever it was you were doing. Suddenly, what OpenAI can see of your flow of work is expanded beyond recognition. But if this role adjustment is true for Canvas, it's doubly true for projects and in-app integrations too. Projects ostensibly offers us a way to organise our chats with ChatGPT so they are easier to use in a more enduring way. This makes sense, as those chats are the main asset we get through our work with ChatGPT, and by them simply forming a chronological list where yesterday's work, no matter how important, quickly disappears off the bottom of the screen, it makes the whole process of working with ChatGPT feel fairly transactional. In a project, we can group together not just chats, but also relevant grounding files and specific instructions to give ChatGPT a slightly different response flavour and contextual knowledge for those projects. You could see this as a cut-down custom GPT, or from a Copilot perspective, an agent focused on a specific project. But step back for a moment and think about the flow of data again. With this feature, OpenAI is inviting us to group our work process logically into connected buckets of effort, while both giving ChatGPT the contextual knowledge related to that work and describing something about it in natural language using a title and instructions. Undoubtedly, this feature offers us users great value, but this way of structuring the dataset we are sharing with OpenAI also offers them great value to understand how to build their products to offer us more impact in the future. Microsoft's approach with Copilot is quite different. Its semantic index of Microsoft 365 data creates an index of your content where the focus is on semantic understanding of the purpose of the content itself. However, while Copilot can index all the data you might have in SharePoint, I'm not aware that it really prioritises the way we design our own content organisation to help us get more from it. If there's a SharePoint site called Project Touring and a SharePoint site called Archive, but both contain recently accessed files about that project, Copilot may likely turn up results from each because it doesn't reason over the purpose of the human-led organisation or categorisation of the data. The only way we have to lead Copilot in this way is the blunt instrument of turning off access to the data we don't want it to see, or creating agents that are purposefully scoped to specific datasets. This approach perfectly matches the needs of many of the large enterprises Microsoft serves, where controlling access to data in the age of AI has become a paramount concern. But again, this framework of building on decades of legacy may be somewhat limiting when looking toward the future. Again, in my mind, this is another place where through starting with a blank sheet of paper, OpenAI is offering solutions that Microsoft hasn't found by simply retrofitting AI into an existing product. And while Projects doesn't offer solutions to big limitations where Microsoft already has an answer, like the static nature of project grounding files versus the fact that project-based files are often updated fairly regularly, it does show an interesting different perspective and the opportunity for OpenAI to level the playing field. Same too with in-app integrations. This wasn't new but has now been expanded so that on a Mac at least, ChatGPT has visibility into select apps you're working in. Not just vision of what's currently displayed on screen, but full access to the content in the open pane of that app. For those not interested in coding, probably the most impactful expansion of this capability is to the note-taking app Notion, and this feature still only has read, not write control of the app it's working with. But this principle of using AI to agentically interface with any app versus just building a certain AI into a particular suite of apps is appealing, and is an entirely different approach to integration from OpenAI than the one Microsoft is advocating for Copilot, utilising its data and automation capabilities in Power Platform or Azure for behind the scenes rather than on the surface integration. However, it's important again to take note of the data flow. By ChatGPT directly interfacing with the content you're working on, rather than just being a tool to selectively paste and copy to and from, it gets access to a lot more data. And I'm not suggesting for a moment that OpenAI is using this data improperly. I'm sure it remains tightly linked to your user account in the context of your specific requests. But OpenAI's privacy policy gives it broad rights to use your data to provide services to you. And the more data you give it, just like with Microsoft, the better job it can do of making your AI experience more personalised and integrated to your needs. But in its different approach to capturing and organising data, OpenAI is providing an interesting and innovative counterpoint to the ways the two established players, Microsoft and Google, are working on integrating AI into productivity work. The last 12 months have been a whirlwind of AI innovation, and there's no sign of it slowing down. As I've tried to stay on top of the best of this, I appreciate the support of all of you in the audience, watching what I make, adding comments, or participating in our community of viewers in other ways. As I look forward to another busy year of developments for AI technology, Copilot and Microsoft 365, I will continue sharing videos here that I hope will help you in your journey. But I want to remind you there are other ways I can help too. First, I encourage everyone watching to join my mailing list, the link is below, so you can find out about new stuff I'm doing. But also, if you need personal coaching on AI strategy or how to use these tools, or you have a project or adoption need for your business, I can help you with that too. Find links to get in touch down in the description. Thank you for your ongoing support and for the opportunity to help you get the best from AI. The last announcement of OpenAI's 12 days was its new O3 model. Even as we've only had the full O1 model in our hands for a couple of weeks, the upcoming O3 will take things up a notch again. Based on OpenAI's assessment, this model is the smartest AI model tested and offers more of the extended reasoning capabilities we have seen in O1 Preview, now in O1, and taken to the extreme using O1 Pro mode. What does this mean? Well, not that we finally got AI that can do anything, but it does mean if you have a need for the AI to solve problems where the output can be objectively either right or wrong, and that the answer can be determined through a series of reasoning steps, O3 is likely to be much better at this than either O1 or other models like 4o. However, there's a narrow selection of types of work where both the capabilities of these models, being predominantly text-based or at least knowledge work focused, and objectively right and wrong solutions commonly apply. Much more of our modern economy is made up of work where it's more fluffy, more creative, more to do with nuances of people and places, and less connected to outputs that can be attained through structured reasoning alone, no matter how smart that reasoner may be. And when it comes to those types of problems, it's still relevant context versus sheer reasoning power that will be king in getting useful answers. And so we return to the problem where data provides a big leg up for AI's usability, and very few businesses truly possess enough of that data to make using it easy on the customer. There's Microsoft, Google, and perhaps as we roll into 2025 with products like Canvas, Project, and in-app integrations, increasingly OpenAI. And in that is the reason why OpenAI's 12 days of announcements may radically change how we perceive the value of AI at work. It's not that by jumping from 4.0 to O1 and next O3, the raw power of the AI model suddenly upends all the challenges we see with integrating these technologies successfully today. It's in OpenAI innovating around what a human collaborating with an AI tool looks like, and how by creating a radically different picture for this than Microsoft, and to a greater extent Google too, it's opening the doors to solving the one place it has been really constrained up to now: access to the right contextual data. In the coming months, we're expecting some radical changes from Microsoft too. The biggest being that we expect agents to be coming to the Microsoft 365 apps that will have contextual awareness of what is on the page of text in Word or the slide deck in PowerPoint, and be able to interface with both reading and writing to the content. If Microsoft gets this right, then this capability may quickly push back against ChatGPT with Canvas, giving much the same workflow, but in familiar and more powerful apps. But it appears that for every inch this incumbent gives up, OpenAI is willing to take a foot. So there is a more pressing need than ever for Microsoft to take the lead and drive AI innovation to new heights if it wants to stay ahead. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Did I select the right high-impact announcements to focus on? And is my takeaway a reasonable analysis? Thanks for watching through to the end. Until the next video, bye bye.